Hi, everybody. My name is Ella, and I work as an outreach youth worker here in Helsinki, Finland. And I work with the NEET youth from ages 16 to 28. And I help the youth to find a path back to school, training, work, or other services. So, my work is almost like one on one counseling, but without the status of public authority, such as a social worker or a welfare officer. So, the main question is, how do I build a relationship with the youth? In my job, it is very vital to take time building trust. And in my opinion, every youth needs a trustworthy adult in their life, especially in cases where the youth have been neglected or left without support and healthy boundaries in their past life. So, yeah, my role as a quite young worker that I am is to be adequately friendly and easy to approach, but still at the same time firm and wise. Yeah. And sometimes it helps if you share some of your own life experiences about the vivid things that can happen throughout life. Although all of this lies upon your own professional consideration, how much and what features you're willing to share. Yeah, so in addition, it's very important to acknowledge that in your position as a youth worker, you always hold dominion and power over the youth. And with that being said, you can be the greatest influencer to a youth's life without you even knowing about it. So yeah, that's kind of important. So, it highly matters what and how you speak to the youth. So, yeah, you build the relationship together with the youth, and I would describe it as some kind of mental and social trading. You give and you get, like back and forth. And to maintain the trusting relationship, you need listening skills, among other essential abilities, and work ethics. And yes, listening is a skill. And yeah, sometimes it can be hard to ask the right questions and to pick up the most important but tiny little nuances in their speech. That could lead to deeper and more meaningful subjects. So, my advice is to be actively involved, ask questions, go to their platforms in social media, and make sure you give the right message to the youth that you are available for them.
In my experience related to youth work, building relationships with young people, it's one of the aspects that requires a lot of effort, time, honesty, and openness. I mean, you can't really build a relationship if you don't have time to invest in this relationship, or at least if you don't have some time to get to know actually the people around you. And apart from this, you can also put yourself out there. I mean, making the young people get to know you and knowing when they can count on you and when, for example, they find some limits, which is also healthy. And that's something that they can also use for their own personal relationship among themselves or with their families and friends. While on the other hand, I think that we can also support a lot in the build of the relationships among them, among the young people, because you can always ask to one of the guys you always meet about other people you met sometimes in some groups, but you're not seeing every day, every time in the youth center, or over 1 week of activities. You can ask them of the other ones, so they also start thinking like, oh, okay, maybe, I mean, it's also my thing, to check on my friend, to check on the people that surround me, to see if they're okay, to be there. Because they see you invest time, you are there, you're trying to be there, with your limits, of course, and with your needs, but they can do the same. And all together we can start and learn to have always better and healthier relationships.
Hi, my name is Heini. I'm an outreach youth worker in Finland, Helsinki, and I will share a little bit about what I think, in my experience as working as an outreach youth worker, are the most important sort of factors that lead to a trustworthy relationship with a young person. So I think one of the most important things in outreach youth work is being brave enough to show your true self to the young person, in a sense that you're not hiding behind any professional masks. Although, of course, you're still keeping it professional, and that might be a little bit tricky. It will come surely by time and experience that you learn to be professional but also to rely on your personality and being able to be as open as possible to the young person, showing them that you care, make questions, show your interest, will make them trust you more and make it easier for them to share their life interests and problems to you so that you can help them. It's important also to respect young person's views, not condemning them in any way. But also it's important, although you're not condemning them, but showing courage. If you do disagree with the young person, you can, when you have trust, you can also disagree with them. And there you also have to have the courage to say that, okay, you do as you wish, but I have a different view on this. I hope we could talk about it, and you can share that as being a responsible adult in the situation. It's important that you see the good in the young person and you express it. It's important to build hope when there is not any. And I think youth work is a sort of arena that you have to build hope. And you have to see the hope at least in outreach youth work. I think those are the most important factors that helped me, at least, to build a good relationship with a young person, and they are still the factors that help me also to maintain the good relationship.
Well, as a youth worker, you are never ready. You are never perfect. As a youth worker, you have to be able to follow the youngsters' culture, which is changing every day. Every generation brings their own culture. So, let's say as a youth worker, you should never grow up because you will raise a generation and then a new one is coming and you have to do it all again. Of course, the good qualities that you have remain intact, but you have to educate yourself more every day and follow the youngsters' culture to be fit. And but all becomes begin with the love of what you're doing, and the fact that you want to help, you want to do whatever it takes to help someone. I think that when you have that, ready to help, no matter what, being there for them, and getting their trust, then everything, they will take you in. You have to be close to help someone. You have to know where they are coming from to help. You cannot help anybody with a knowledge that is like, 20 years ago, 10 years ago, it's already gone. You have to follow the cultural. I would say that the cultural issue is the best one to stay fit.